So hello and welcome to another HTML5 animated banner tutorial in Adobe Animate, and as always before we will start I will show you what we are going to be doing today. So right now I am on the site Freepik, and as always I am going to provide you a link in the description so you can download this, and I am also going to provide you my illustrator file because it's possible that this vector won't be free to download in the future, or just in case that you want to skip the illustrator part. But keep in mind that you will have to attribute the author if you want to use this commercially or go premium. So I will click download and I will go with pre-download. I already saved this, so I'm not going to do it one more time, and I will go to the place where I have saved this and I am going to have it in here. And I'm going to have a zip file like this, which I am going to right click and choose extract here, and I am going to double click on this I file, which is going to open me this in the Illustrator with some kind of warnings about missing fonts, but I will just hit close because we are not going to be using the text that they have. I'm going to zoom in a little bit with Alt and mouse wheel, and what I want to do is I want to create new document. So I'm going to hit Ctrl N. And I will go with 300 by 600, and I am going to hit create, and I want to have everything as it is, like so. And now what we can do is we need to get some of the stuff that we want to use to the new document. So I'm going to click like so, and I'm going to try to move it, but it is all together. So what I will need to do is right click, and I'm going to first of all choose release clipping mask, because some of the stuff was clipped to be in the stage, and right now we have released it. Now everything is still going to be together. So what I'm going to do is one more time right click and choose ungroup or Ctrl Shift G, and now this is going to be ungrouped, but we are still going to have some things together. So we need to one more time right click and choose ungroup until we will get to this one. And right now this is separated, so I'm going to drag it in here like so. And I will go back in here, and we want to get some other stuff. We want to get this cup, so I'm going to right click and ungroup because it was grouped with this cake. So I'm going to right now get this, and I'm going to position it in here like so. And don't worry about this, we are going to separate this or we are going to position this correctly in the Adobe Animate. Now what I want to do is I want to get one of the leaf, so I will try to click on the leaf, but it is grouped with other leaves. So right click and ungroup, and right now it is going to be separated, so I'm going to be able to drag it in here like so. And what more do we want? We want to get this one, so this is going to be like a background. Right now it is separated, so I'm going to drag it in here like so. And maybe I will scale this later on in the Adobe Animate. And what more? I would like to get this one, but this second part I will have to right click and I will have to choose release clipping mask, the same as with the first one. And right now I will try to click in here, but it is going to be grouped together. If I try to move it, I can see that there is a bunch of stuff. So right now with the shortcut Ctrl Shift G, I am going to ungroup this, and right now I should have only the boy with this. So I'm going to drag it like so, and I will go back in here, and I will make sure that there is nothing more that I want to take, but I think that this is fine. So right now I will go back to the new document that we have, and if I'm going to open layer 1, we are going to have like 5 things in here. One of them is going to be this one, one of them is going to be this cup, one of them is going to be this leaf, this part, and this one. So right now I'm going to show all of them, and I am going to close the layer 1, and I am going to click on the layer 1. I will click on these 3 lines, and I am going to choose release to layers sequence, and I am going to select all of them with the shift, and I am going to drag them outside of the layer 1. And right now layer 1 is going to be empty, and I can delete it. So right now I am going to save this, and I am going to provide you this in the description, and I will see you in Adobe Animate in few seconds. So right now I am in the Adobe Animate and I will go with the same width and height as in Illustrator, 300 by 600. We want to have frame rate as it is and HTML5 canvas, so I will just hit create. And now I will go to the place where I have saved my Illustrator file, and I am going to have it in here, and I am going to drag it in here like so. And I don't want to change anything in here, so I'm just going to click import. And now we are going to have everything in here, and we are going to have it in 5 layers. There is a possibility that you don't see the things which are outside of the stage. There is this creep content outside of the stage, and if you click it or unclick it, you are going to hide it and show it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to click on this cap, and I'm going to rename it in the layer. So I'm going to double click, and I'm going to call this to be cap, and I'm going to lock it. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to select everything else like so, and I'm going to convert it to the symbol together. So I will go to the modify, I will go to the convert to symbol or F8, and I can call this symbol 1, it's fine, and I'm going to click OK. Right now what is going to happen is that we are going to have everything in the layer 2 except of the cap, and we are going to have 3 layers which are going to be empty. You can see that they are empty because they don't have this black dot. So right now I'm going to delete them like so, and I can call this to be background. So I'm going to double click, and I'm going to call this to be BG, like a background. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to position background below the cap, and I'm going to double click to my background. And now what I'm going to do is right now I'm in the scene 1, in the symbol 1. If I would name this differently, there would be a different name. And I'm going to right now click on the layer 1 to select everything, and I can right click and I can choose distribute to layers. This is not necessary, but we can do something like this. And now I'm going to position some of the stuff. So I'm going to maybe move like so. I'm moving with the space and mouse, and I'm going to maybe position this in here like so. This one I'm going to position like this, and I'm going to hit Q to rotate it like so. And I'm going to convert this to the symbol. So I will go to the modify, convert to symbol, and symbol 2 is fine. And I have converted this to the symbol because right now I would like to duplicate it. And once this is symbol and I'm going to duplicate it, this is not going to take more memory to the file that we are going to have at the end as published file. So I'm going to position this like so. This one I'm going to position maybe in here. This one I'm going to position maybe like so, and this one can be in here. Later on we can reposition this if we want. But one thing that I did incorrectly, and I'm going to repair this, is this leaf. I didn't want to put it in here. I would like to position this leaf at the main timeline. So I'm going to hit Ctrl X. And right now I'm going to have this layer for empty, so I'm going to delete it, and I will go to the scene 1, and I'm going to create the new layer, and I'm going to hit Ctrl V, and it is going to position me in the weird place. Right now it doesn't matter, but if you would like to position the leaf to the same place from where you have cut it, what you need to do is go to the edit and paste in place, and right now it would place it to the same position. But right now it doesn't matter because I'm going to reposition it to some other place anyway. Now what I can do is I'm going to double click to this background, and I'm going to be in the scene 1 in the symbol 1, and I'm going to create new layer, so I can create new layer on the top. And now I'm going to create some kind of background. So I'm going to go to the pen tool, and we are going to have only the option for the stroke, and it doesn't matter which color we are going to be using because later on we are going to get rid of the stroke anyway. And maybe I can start in here, and with the pen I am going to create maybe some kind of shape like so. And right now I'm moving with the space and mouse, and I'm going to continue to draw something like this. and maybe something like this, and so on. Now, one thing is that once you have created something like this and you want to change this, you need to go to the subselection tool, and right now I can click in here and I can position this little bit like so. I can click in here and adjust these handles like so. Let me do it one more time. So I will click and I will click on the handle. I can position this as I want. So basically, you get the point. So maybe I can adjust this little bit like so, and I can move a little bit, adjust this, adjust this, and like so. And now, if I want to continue, I'm going to go to the pen tool and I will click in here like so. And right now I'm going to continue. So I will click like so. I will click in here and I'm going to close this. And now, once I have created something like this, I'm going to hit K, or you can go to the paint bucket tool. And I'm going to get this one, and right now I'm going to just click in the middle of the shape, and you are going to have something like this. If something like this is not going to appear for you, probably you didn't close this. So because this fill color is going to appear only when you close your shape. And now what I'm going to do is I will go to the selection tool, and I'm going to double click on this shape. And once I have double click, it is going to, because if I only click, I'm going to select only the fill, but if I'm going to double click, I'm going to select the fill and also the stroke, and I will click on the stroke and I will choose that I don't want to have any. So something like this. And maybe I can right now position this a little bit like so. You can do whatever background you want. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to position this layer 6 below like so, and I'm going to do something like this, and yeah. Now I will go back to the scene 1, and I will go to this cap, and I'm going to extend the timeline for everything. So maybe for now I will go to the frame 100. I will click in here with shift. I am going to select all 3 layers, and I'm going to click F5, or you can right click and insert frame. And now I'm going to click on the cap. Okay, for now I'm going to unlock the cap, and I can lock the background, and I'm going to click on the cap. I can zoom in a little bit, and this cap, so far I didn't convert to the symbol, so I will go to the modify, convert to symbol, and I'm going to call this cap, or just call it symbol 2 or whatever. And I'm going to position this to the center, so I'm going to approximately position it like so. You can go to the align tool in here if you want, and you can align it like so exactly to the center, depends on you. Now what I want to do is I want to create this animation of the jumping. So maybe I will go to the frame 20, and I'm going to create new keyframe. So F6 or right click, insert keyframe. And on this keyframe, I'm going to position this up. So with my shift and arrows, I am going to position it like so. And then I'm going to go to the first keyframe, and with Alt, I am going to drag it, and this is going to copy me this like so, or probably Option on the Mac. And now what I want to do is I'm going to select it like so, and I'm going to right click and choose Create Classic Tween. So we are going to have the cap jumping like so, but so far this is going to be linear, and I can hit Control Enter, and I will show you that this jumping is going to look a little bit weird. I'm going to refresh it, and yeah. So what I want to do is I will go back to the Adobe Animate, and I'm going to create some kind of easing. So I will go to the first keyframe, and I will click on it, and I will go to the properties, and I will go to the classic ease. And actually right now I'm going to create my custom easing. So I'm going to click edit easing, and this is going to give me something like this. And at the beginning, when this is going to jump, it is going to jump fast. And while it is going to go up, it will slow down because of the gravity. So we are going to have something like this. So basically, one more time, it will jump fast, but because of the gravity, it will slow down. I'm going to hit save and apply. So we are going to have something like this. You can see like it starts quick, and then it is going to slow down until it will stop. And the second keyframe, I'm going to click on this. I will go one more time to the edit easing, and I'm going to do something like this. It will start slowly, and then it will, because of the gravity, accelerate like so, and I'm going to hit save and apply. So we are going to have something like this. You have this pre-made easing, so I can go to the my ease, and there is this easy in. This is what we have created for the second keyframe, and easy out what we have created for the first keyframe, but I wanted to create my own. So something like this. And now I'm going to hit Ctrl Enter, and I will see how this is going to be looking in the browser. So we are going to have something like this. Okay, and I'm going to duplicate this jumping. So I'm going to select with Shift all of the keyframes. So I will click on this keyframe with Shift on this one, and right now with the Alt I am going to duplicate it like so. I'm going to position this keyframe on the first keyframe. I'm going to position on the last, and right now I can go ahead and duplicate this one more time. So I'm going to select it like so, and with Alt I am going to duplicate it like this. And for now I'm going to extend the timeline maybe to 250. So right now with the shortcut F5. Now what I want to do is I'm going to animate this background layer. So I'm going to unlock this, and I have the first keyframe in here, and maybe I will go to the frame 250, and I'm going to create new keyframe F6, and with my shift and arrow I'm going to position all of the stuff maybe like so, and I'm going to create classic tween. So I'm going to go anywhere in between, right click and create classic tween, and right now we have something like this. I'm going to hit Ctrl Enter, and we will see how this is going to be looking. So we have something like this, and yeah, there are a few things that I don't like. Let me see it one more time. Okay, so first of all, I think that this animation of the background is very slow. So I'm going to maybe position this keyframe in here, like so. Later on we will see, and maybe this jumping I would like to make it a little bit faster. So what I can do is click on this keyframe, with shift click on this keyframe, and right now I will go to the end like so until I will get these two arrows, and I'm going to do something like this, and right now I'm going to have faster jumping. So I'm going to hit Ctrl Enter, and I will see how this is going to look. So we have something like this. There are a few things that for now look weird. So first of all, let me go inside of this background. So I will go to the first keyframe, and I'm going to double click, and first of all I'm going to position this little bit up. So I'm going to position it maybe like so, and I will click also on this shape, and I'm going to position it a little bit up like so. And one thing that is that this tree, or this branch of tree, it looks very weird. So I'm going to double click, or I will click on it, I will double click. And right now, once I have double click, I can I can move it like so. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Q, and I'm going to rotate it like so, and I'm going to position it maybe like this. So this is like going from the top like so, and maybe I can go back to the symbol 2, and I can maybe position this in here like so. So right now you can go ahead and play with this background, and I'm going to hit Ctrl Enter, and I will see what we are going to have. So we have something like this, and yeah. Okay, now one thing maybe I want to, I am going to position this little bit like so. Let me hit Ctrl Enter one more time. So I'm just trying to get something which I'm going to like. Okay, maybe also this background. What I can do is I can go ahead and go to the scene 1, and I can change the background for the whole canvas. So I'm going to click anywhere, and I will go to the stage, and I'm going to choose maybe this kind of color, but right now I will make this a little bit darker. So maybe something like this, and I'm going to hit Ctrl Enter, and we will see how this is going to look. So right now we are going to have something like this, and you can play with the colors as much as you want. Now let me see it one more time. whether this is fine. Okay, one thing, but this is like I'm just playing. I'm going to double click in here, and I'm going to position this little bit later, and this also I'm going to position a little bit later. Now I'm going to go ahead and animate the leaf, and I'm going to create some kind of animation along the path. So I'm going to get I'm going to create new layer. I will go to the pen tool, and when we have the pen tool, as before, we have only the stroke option. So I'm going to keep with this red color, and I'm going to draw something like this. So like so, maybe like so, and like so. And now what I'm going to do is I will click on this layer 10. I can double click and call this to be guide, and right now I will right click to this guide, and I'm going to choose that it is going to be guide, and it is going to change the icon. And right now I am also going to rename this layer 9, so I'm going to double click, and this is going to be leaf. And once this is guide and this is below, I can go ahead and drag it like so to the guide, and it is going to be like this. And now what I want to do is I want to click on the leaf, and I want to convert the leaf to the symbol, so I'm going to click F8, and this is going to be leaf, and I'm going to click OK. Maybe I can go ahead and with Q scale this little bit like so. I will zoom in to scale it a little bit less, like this. And now what I'm going to do is I will click on the leaf, and I'm going to position the anchor point to the path, and it should snap like so. And now I will go to the maybe in here, I don't know, we will adjust it. I will create new keyframe for the leaf, F6, and I am going to drag the leaf maybe in here, and I am going to position it on the path one more time. It should snap, and I am going to right click, and I am going to choose create classic tween. So right now we are going to have something like this. And maybe at the beginning, I would like it to don't be outside of the stage, but I'm going to position it maybe in here, like so. And I'm going to hit Ctrl Enter, and we will see how this is going to be looking. So we are going to have something like this, and in my opinion, that's very, very fast. So I will go back to the animate, and I will go to the last keyframe on the leaf. So it is in here, and I'm going to zoom out with Ctrl and mouse wheel, and I'm actually going to maybe position it in here. I don't know, and I'm going to hit Ctrl Enter, and we will see how this is going to be looking. So right now we are going to have something like this. I think the speed was fine, but I would like to maybe adjust a little bit rotation. So I will go to the last keyframe, and I am going to rotate this a little bit like so. I will hit Ctrl Enter, and we will see how this is going to be looking. So I think that it's little bit better. One thing is that if I'm going to rotate this leaf like so many times, it is not going to be rotating like so. If you would like to rotate something many times, what you need to do is click anywhere on this classic tween, go to the rotate and change the auto to maybe clockwise, and this number I can change maybe to 3, and right now this is going to be rotating many times, so we can have something like this. But yeah, I am not going to do something like so I will go back. But if you want, you can play with something like this. And now what I can do is I can go ahead and duplicate this layer. So I'm going to click on the leaf, and I'm going to click on the guide, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to choose duplicate layers. And right now I can on this guide click, and I'm going to position the guide like so. You could go ahead and create new guide or whatever, but I'm not going to be bothered about it. And this leaf copy right now I have in the first keyframe I have this snapped, but I can position it if I want to the other place like so. But what I will have to do is I will have to go to the last keyframe of that leaf. So it is going to be it's this one. Let me see. For now I'm going to hide this guide and this leaf, so I'm going to stay only with this one, so I'm not going to confuse myself. And right now I will go in here, and I'm going to position this on the guide, so I'm going to position it maybe like so, and it is going to snap, and we are going to have it like this. And maybe right now in here I can go ahead and change the rotation at the beginning, so I'm going to rotate it like so. And right now I can show the other two, and maybe what I can do is I can click on on this leaf layer, and with shift I can click in here, and right now I can move it like so. So this will start a little bit later. So I'm going to hit Ctrl Enter, and we will see what we are going to have. So we have one leaf, then we have the second leaf like so, and if we want, we can go ahead and duplicate the leaves a few more times. So maybe what I could do is I can select all 4 of them, right click and choose duplicate layers, and right now I'm not going to do anything more than click on this keyframe, then with shift select it like so, and I'm going to drag everything a little bit like so. So we are going to have the same animation, but it is going to come a little bit later. Now the thing is that our jumping stops in here, but it's not a problem because we can click like so, and with Alt we can duplicate this like so. So I'm going to have the jumping like this. Now what we are going to do is I want the cap to stop jumping, and at the same place where this background is going to stop moving. So I'm going to position it in here like so. So we are going to have this animation. These leaves will go away, and then this is going to stop, and also the animation of the background is going to stop. And right now what I can do is I can go in here and I can create a new layer, and on this new layer I can just type some kind of text. So I will go in here, and I am going to get the text tool on the new layer, and I am going to type something like do you like or let me at the beginning change the color. So I'm going to click on the fill color, and maybe I will choose something like this, and right now I can type do you like coffee, something like this, and maybe I can put this do you capital, and I'm going to do it like so, and I'm going to position it in here, and maybe I will change the color to something darker, so I can maybe go with black, it's fine. And I can go ahead and maybe scale this a little bit like so. This depends on you. And I'm going to click on this text. I'm going to hit F8, and I'm going to convert this to the symbol. I can go ahead and call this text or symbol free, it doesn't matter. And right now I'm going to get this keyframe, and I'm going to position this keyframe maybe in here. I want this text to appear approximately when the animation stops, and I will create new keyframe in here, F6, and I will go to the first keyframe like so, and I will click on it, and with shift and arrows I'm going to position this down, and I will click on it, and I'm going to choose that the alpha is going to be 0, and I'm going to create a classic tween. So we have an animation which goes from down and from 0 opacity up to the 100 opacity, and I'm going to click in here, and I'm going to choose easing, and I would like to go with something like this, which will start fast and then slow down. So I'm going to double click on this one, and we are going to have something like this. Now one thing that this cap is going to disappear in here, so I'm going to extend the timeline, and I'm going to extend the timeline for the background and for the cap maybe in here, so F5 or right click, insert frame. So we are going to have it like so, do you like coffee text, and then maybe I can create some kind of button. So I'm going to create new layer. I will go to the shape tool. I will choose that I don't want to have the stroke, and I want to have only the fill color, and maybe I can choose this kind of color and make it a little bit darker, but I don't want to have, or maybe I can choose something like this, I don't know. And I'm going to I can go to the rectangle option and choose some kind of number. 25, it is going to make a rounded corner, so I'm going to have something like this. And on the same layer I will go to the text tool, and I'm going to choose maybe the color of the background, and I'm going to write maybe try our coffee, something like this, and I'm going to position it like so, and maybe I'm going to make this a little bit smaller, so I can make the font size smaller like so, and I can position it like this. And now what I want to do is I will zoom in a little bit, and I will click on the shape, and with shift on the text, and I'm going to click F8, and I can call this to be button, and I will click OK. Right now, if you want with Q, you can scale this up or down. It depends on you. And maybe I can position this text a little bit more up, like so. Later on, we can go ahead and adjust this leaf as we want. maybe one thing that I am going to do is I'm going to click on this background and I'm going to animate it maybe a little bit more. So it is not going to, so the text is going to be visible, and the button I am maybe going to position a little bit more up, and we can do the same animation as with the text. So I'm going to get the keyframe and I'm going to position the keyframe in here like so, and I'm going to create new keyframe F6, and in here I'm going to position this down, and I will click on this and I'm going to choose that alpha is going to be 0, and I will create classic tween, and I'm going to do the easing. So I'm going to go with easy out and with this one, and I'm going to position this little bit later, so something like this, and we are going to have something like this. Then the text is going to appear, then the button is going to appear, and yeah. Now I'm going to hit Ctrl Enter and we will see what we are going to have. So we have something like this, then we have other leaves, and yeah, and then this is going to stop and we are going to have it like so. Let me see it one more time, because there was a little bit issue with the leaf, because the leaf just appeared, but I'm not going to be bothered about it. So we are going to have something like this, and by default this is going to be looping forever. But if you want to use something like this, maybe for the Google Ads, it can be looping forever. So I'm going to show you how you can stop this animation. I show this in almost all of the tutorials. And if you are going to have maybe something like this, I'm going to click F5. So some layer is going to be longer and you don't want to have that. What you can do is select it with Shift like so, and right click and choose remove frames, or Shift F5. So something like this. And now I'm going to create this new layer. So I will click new layer, and I'm going to call this layer to be code, and I am going to right click, choose actions, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and I'm going to maybe make this a little bit bigger like so, and I'm going to type in here this dot stop, parentheses and semicolon. Semicolons are optional, but it's good practice. And right now we are going to have this little A, which stands for action script, but it's now HTML, it's JavaScript. And right now it is going to stop the animation immediately because it's at the beginning. So I'm going to click on this and drag it to the end like so. And right now this would mean, and let me get rid of this additional frame, so Shift F5. And right now if I'm going to click Ctrl Enter, this is going to stop the animation after one looping. So I'm going to let it play right now, and I will show you that indeed this is going to go like so, and it will stop, and we are not going to have any more animation. If you want to loop your animation a few times and then stop, I'm going to provide this in the description, link for this website, and here we have the code. We have this code twice. One is this and one is this. They are almost the same, but here is the sign smaller or bigger, and this is like the equal. So I'm going to copy this code. I will hit Ctrl C. I will go to the animate, and I will go to the place where I have my code in here, and I'm going to right click and choose actions, or F9, and I'm going to replace this code with this new one, and maybe I will make this even a little bit more bigger if I can. So something like this, and the only thing important in here for us is this number, and if I'm going to change this to 2, it means that it is going to loop the timeline 2 times. You can go ahead with number 10, it would mean that it is going to loop the timeline 10 times. But 2 is something which is fine, because usually Google Ads had something like half minute of the animation, and then it needs to stop. So right now I'm going to show you how you can export this. So I will go to the place where I have saved my animate file, and you can see that I'm going to have here some JS, some HTML, and some images. So I'm going to get rid of them. I'm going to hit delete like so, and I'm going to stay only with the animate file and with some recover animate file. And right now I will go to the file, publish settings, and I will click on this folder, and I'm going to choose the location. So in my case, I want to go in here to the animate folder, and here is my animate file, even though you cannot see it. And I'm going to create a new folder. I have this in Spanish, but new folder, and I'm going to call this folder to be index, and I will go inside of that index, and I'm going to also call this to be index, and I'm going to hit save. I'm going to hit OK. I will hit file, and I will hit publish. And right now, if I go to the place where I have saved this, I'm going to have this index folder, and here I'm going to have images, HTML, and JavaScript. If you want this to work in Google Ads, there is one additional step, and it's you will need to go to the file, publish settings, and in here, in HTML.js, you have to uncheck these hosted libraries, like so. Hit OK, hit the file and publish, and it is going to give you one additional folder, these libraries. And yeah, and now what we need to do is we need to add a little bit of the code to our index HTML. So I'm also going to provide you this in the description, but there is this website with this very little code. So I'm going to copy this, Ctrl C, and I will go back in here, and I'm going to right click on the index, and I'm going to choose, in my case, open with brackets. Basically, you have to have in your computer something which allows you to open a code, and you can go with Notepad or with the brackets, or you can download Atom, Sublime Text, are many of them, and they are usually free to download. But I will go with this one, and it is basically going to open me a code, and in the code we are going to have like some HTML, some head, some meta, and title, and between the second meta and the title I'm going to paste this code, and I'm going to change the width and height to my width and height. So 300 width is fine, but my height in the banner is 600, so I'm going to change it. So I will type 600, and I'm going to just hit Ctrl S to save this. I will close this text editor. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on this index, and I'm going to choose send to and a zip file, and we are going to have something like this. Now this is not going to be working in the Google Ads because of the one thing, and it's the size of the zip file needs to be smaller than 150 kilobytes. So there are two things that we could try to do. One of them is I will get rid of this zip file like so, and right now I will go in here, and I will go to these images, and in these images I have one PNG file which contains everything. And what I could do is I can go to this website TinyPNG, and I'm going to provide you a link in the description, but basically it is going to compress your PNG or JPEG without losing quality. So you are going to have a smaller file, but the quality is going to be almost the same. So I'm going to drag it in here like so, and it is going to compress me this by 22 kilobytes. So right now I'm going to hit download, and I will go to the place where I want to save this. So I am right now in here, and I want this name to be same as this name. So I'm going to get it like so, and I'm going to hit save, and it is going to ask me if I want to replace this, and I'm going to hit yes. And right now if I go in here to my images, instead of 100 and something kilobytes, I'm going to have 81 kilobytes. So now what I can do is I'm going to right click on the index, and I'm going to choose send to and a zip file, and right now it is going to be 153 kilobytes, which is still too big. So this didn't help. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to delete this zip file, and I'm going to delete all of this index like so, and I will go back to the Adobe Animate. And right now what I'm going to do is I will go to the publish settings, and there is this option export image assets, and we have a texture, we have a sprite sheet, or we have image assets. I could go ahead and try to go with the sprite sheet like so, and I'm going to hit OK, and I will hit file, and I will hit publish. But I will have to one more time go in here and choose the location where I want to save this. So right now I am in the animate folder, and one more time I'm going to create the new folder which is going to be index, and I will go inside and I will call this index, and I'm going to hit save, OK, file, and publish, and I will see how this is going to be looking. So I'm going to have this index in here, and I will go inside, and right now we are not going to have the images. and we are going to have only libraries, index.html and index.js. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and I'm going to choose send to, and I'm going to go with the zip file, and right now this is going to be 101 kilobytes. And basically what's happened is that we have vectors, and when I had this as a texture, it published it as a PNG. And if I am going to choose sprite or if I'm going to choose image assets, it is going to export this as a vector. And that's why I'm not going to have the image folder in here. So yeah, right now what would you need to do is one more time. You would need to go to the index and add the code that we had add, because if I'm going to get rid of this like so, and I'm going to hit the file, I will go to the file and I will hit publish. It is going to publish it one more time, and the code is not going to be there anymore that we have put it there. So right now I would need to go in here, open with brackets, and do the same thing. But yeah, this is it. Hopefully you have learned something new. If anyone had watched until the end, let me know in the comments. And yeah, if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like, and maybe I will see you in some other tutorial. I have a lot of them in here. So thank you, goodbye.